Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Ram. In today's video, I would like to share how we can mask an email ID using Python. Let us see how we can do it. Okay, to demonstrate this exercise, I'm using Google Colab Notebook. In this Google Colab Notebook, we can develop Python code and code of various languages like Scala, Java, etc. Okay, it acts much more like a Jupyter notebook. Here I can click on plus code, so a new cell will be opened. In this cell I can write the code. Now let us see how we can mask an email ID. Okay, mask an email ID is our requirement. Okay, as we know, email ID is a sensitive information. Masking it would be needed in many use cases, and there are various ways to mask. Let us think. This is our requirement. My email ID is something like this, let us say. Okay, and I want to mask in this way. I want to print the first character as it is, and later I want to print 4 stars, and I want to print the last character in the name. Okay, here in the email ID we have at the rate, so the string after the at the rate is domain. Okay, the string before the at the rate we can call it as name. So I want to mask in such a way, like in the name I want the first character, and I want to have 4 stars only irrespective of the length of the name, and I want to print the last character of the name, and I want to print the domain as it is. Let us say I want to have the output, the masked email ID, in this fashion. Okay, let's see how we can do it using Python. For this, let us create a function. To create a function, we have to use def method. Next, we have to give the function name. We can give something like this, and we have to initialize the arguments. Okay, we have to give the arguments. Now let's give the argument name. Let's give it as mail ID. Okay, now what we can do, we want to do certain operation only on the name part. We don't want to do anything on the domain part. So it's better we separate the name and domain. We can separate it using split. Let's check how we can do it. Name comma domain is equals to the mail ID, whatever we get from the user, we want to split with at the rate. Okay, we can check it as an example. Now let's say this is the input string. Okay, now if I split that string as with at the rate, let's see how the output will be. Yeah, first time it takes little time. I'll pause the video to save the time. Okay, now we got the output. However, it is throwing an error because I have to give the string here. So if I add the single quotes and try it again, it should work. See, it's working. Right, now the output is a list. Okay, we can assign this list to 2 variables, name comma domain. If I give like this and run it, in the list there are 2 elements. The first element will be assigned to the first variable, and second element will be assigned to the second variable. Let us see. Okay, here it just assigned, but we are not printing anything. That's why there is no output. We can print and see. Okay, let's print this way. name is name, print domain is domain. Let us see. Okay, so in the name we got the name value, so that means for the variable name the value is this, and for the variable domain the value is this. Okay, hope it is understood how the values will be assigned. Okay, once these are assigned, I want to perform some operations on the name only, or I wanted my masked email ID this way, right? Let us create one more variable named masked email. Okay, in the masked email, what I want the first character in the name followed by 4 stars followed by last character in the name. To get the last character in the name, I have to give name of -1. To get the first character, that means the character in the 0th index, I have to give name of 0. Later I need to give @ later I need to give the domain. Okay, this should work. We can check it. Now our function is created. Now let us call the function and check how it is working. Mask, okay, and I have to return this masked email actually. Okay, mask email, and I have to give the value for this argument. While calling the function, I have to give the value of the argument. Okay, now let's run this and see what will be the outcome. Yeah, so the outcome we are getting as expected. Now if I change to something, let's say we are getting the output as expected. Okay, by just using simple 2-3 lines of code, we can mask the email ID using Python. This is one way of doing it. Okay, let us check another requirement. Okay, I have the email ID like this, and what I want to do is I want to print only the stars. I do not want to print the first character and the last character. Okay, and the number of stars should be equal to the length of the name. Okay, here what is the length of the name? Ram Kumar, which is 8 characters, and 1 2 3 4 12 characters. So I wanted to print 12 stars. 1 2 3 4. Okay, 4 stars 3 times. So this is how I wanted to get an output. Let us see how we can achieve it. Let's create a function named mask email again. Okay, let's uh, give an argument named mail ID, and again we wanted to have name and domain separated because I want to perform operation only on the name. Now how I wanted my output: masked email. Firstly I want to have stars whose number equal to the length of the name. So for that what I can do, length of name multiplied with star, so it will print those many stars. We can see it. So this should give the desired result. Let us check how the stars thing works. If I give 3 multiplied with star, it will print 3 stars. Now if I give 3 multiplied with hash, it will give 3 hashes. Okay, for our use case I want the number of stars whose that are equivalent to the length of the string. That's why I want to take length of string multiplied with stars. Next I want to have at the rate. Next I want to have the domain. So this should fulfill the purpose. Now I want the function to return masked email value. Okay, this way. Now let's see if it's working properly. Let us call the function by writing its name, and let's give the value for the argument. Great, let's run. Yeah, it's working as expected. See, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. If you want to try with a smaller example and see the number of stars properly, yeah, the name length is RAM3, that's why I have 3 stars here. So this is another use case. Okay, now we can check one more use case. I have the email ID like this. I wanted first character as it is, and I wanted last character as it is, and in between how many number of characters are there, I want to print those many stars. That means I have the first character and I have the last character. In between, how many number of characters will be there? Length of name minus 2, because first character is 1 and second character is 2. That's why length of string minus 2. So I wanted those many stars in the middle, and I wanted to have the domain as it is. Now let's see how we can do it. Maybe I'll copy few things. Right, just we can edit this a bit so we'll get the desired result. So what we want the first character of the name. For that we have to give name of 0. So the character that is present in the 0th index will be printed, that will be added. Okay, so the 0th index character is the first character. Next I wanted to have the number of stars that are equal to length of name minus 2, so that I added. So that is second part. Later I want to have the last character of the email, that I added. So this way, after plus we can give a space or we need not give a space, both will work. Just for readability, if you think giving a space is better, we can give, otherwise we can skip. Okay, now let us run this. Okay, let's give a bigger email ID. Okay, let's run. Oh yeah, it's giving an error. Oh, so Python works on indentation basis. Here for the indent there are two characters. The return should be under the function, so it has to be in this position. Now I hope it will work. See, it's working as expected. First character, last character, in between the stars whose number is equals to length of string minus 2. We can try with a smaller string. It's working as expected. So this is another way. Okay, let's try one more way. This is little interesting. So what I want to do is, let us try with a smaller example, even smaller I guess. Krish@gmail.com. Let's try with this. Here I wanted output in this way. I want to print the first character as it is, and for the second character I want to give star, and third character as it is, and for fourth character I want to give star, and fifth character as it is. That means I want to give stars for the alternate characters. Okay, here the index starts with 0 in Python for this name string. So for the 0th index character I want to print as it is. For first index character I want to give star, second index character I want to print as it is, third index character I want to give star. So for all the even indexed characters I want to print as it is, and for odd indexed characters I want to print star. Let us see how I can achieve this. Yeah, I'm copying this code for ease of use. Yeah, I will, because I wanted to perform the operations only on the name part. It would be easy if I have the name and domain separated. Okay, in the name, what I'm doing, for all the even indexed characters I'm printing as it is. For odd indexed I'm giving star. So I have to know what is even index and what is odd index. For that I wanted to do this way. I wanted to run a for loop first for I in range 0 comma length of name. So what this will do, this I is the iterator. This for loop will be iterated for these many times. It will start with 0 and it will run until length of name minus 1 times. Okay, so what is the length of name here? Krish. It is 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. It will run, this for loop will run from 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the values of I. Okay, now what we want to do, if we want to check if I is an even number or odd number. Okay, I percent 2 is 0, that means I divided by 2, whatever is the remainder, that remainder is 0, then I is a even number. So if I percent 2 is 0, then I is even number. Okay, if I is even, what I wanted to do, I want to print the character as it is. Okay, now let me create one more variable named this way, masked name, and let's initialize with an empty string. What I wanted to do is, if I is even, means then I wanted to print the character as it is. Okay, otherwise, else, that means if I is odd, I wanted to print, I wanted to I wanted to add star here. Okay, this way. Let us see how it works. Firstly, let us understand. Okay, as we discussed, I values will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? uh, Initially masked email value is empty string. When 0th iteration is completed, what will be the masked email value? Masked name value, masked name, and name of 0. What is name of 0? Krish of 0, which is k. So it will be k here. Okay, when I is 1, what will be the value? So if I is 1, if will not be satisfied, it will come to else. So in the mask name already k is there. Okay, I am adding star to it, so k star will come. Next, what will come in the masked name? In the masked name already k star is there. Next, 2, I position is 2, 2% 2 is 0, so it is satisfied. And masked name, which is k star plus name of I. Okay, name of 2. In the name of 2, what is there? I is there. So k star I will be printed. Likewise, everything will be printed. Hope it is clear. So this how my masked name will be printed. Okay, now I can come out of the for loop. Okay, I am coming out of the for loop. Now I wanted to have masked email. Masked email is masked name um, followed by at the rate followed by domain. Okay, that way. Now let us check it's working as expected. Okay, let's give this example only. See, it is working as expected. See, it's working as expected. Okay, so in these ways we can mask an email ID. Okay, here I'm taking simple email ID examples like name followed by the domain, but sometimes the email IDs can be complex. Okay, to check, firstly I have to check whether that is a valid email ID or not. To perform that validation, I might need to write multiple if else statements. Okay, instead of writing those many, we can simply check whether the pattern of the email ID is correct or not using the regular expressions. How we can do that, let us discuss in our next class. Okay, I wanted to show one more thing. In this Google Colab, if I give plus code, here it is saying I can start code or generate code with AI. Okay, let us see that how we can do. Now let us ask this AI how I can mask an email ID using Python. Mask an email ID using Python. Let us generate a simple code to, okay, let us see how it gives the results. Okay, it gave the results this way. It is calling various functions, and it's using spreadsheets, all this. Generate a simple code to mask an email ID. Okay, and here it gave this way. Okay, we can make use of the AI also to do our coding. Okay, that's all for this video. I hope it is helpful. Okay, please do watch and share your feedback. Thank you. Have a great day.